part two of my thoughts while quitting my job as a nurse and what ended up happening instead. Okay, so I quit my job March 20th. That was my last day. That was 2026. A lot of things went through my head from both fear, from brainwashing myself, hypnotizing myself, making sure that I was calling out my unhelpful thoughts, examining my beliefs, so many things. So there was like this like 1% fear, 99% of it felt like the best decision of my life, felt like the most right aligned path I have ever freaking walked. And that too kind of had me like, whoa, holy bejesus. Because I've tried many things over the years. Like I have done many classes, many trainings, many seminars. I've done a lot of things over the years, and nothing had ever felt that right. But leaving my job, boom, ding, 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 ding. Anywho, so it was very expansive for me. So while I knew that I was quitting my job, it took me a couple of weeks ish, give or take, actually probably more than that, to like figure out the logistics, do the math, figure things out, like how this is going to work. Can I reasonably do this? Is this, feasible? How long can I take off of work? How long can I technically not work for? Like, where's this going? Like, you have like bills to pay. Like, I like to live indoors. I pay a mortgage. I have a car payment. I drive a new car. Like, I like to feed my family. I like to have gas and electricity and whatever else. And, so there's that. So, anywho, so there was fear, then there was this expansiveness. It felt like the most right aligned path, blah, blah, blah. To recap, God damn, I talk so much, you guys. Thank you for listening. So, I didn't know what was going to happen. I did not have a concrete plan. I did not have a business plan. I had some I would call them very light ideas about a potential coffee shop. But I also knew that as a nurse, I had no food experience. I have never been a barista. I've never worked in a coffee shop. The closest I came to food service was when I was 16. I worked at Burger King. So that was quite the experience. Like, oh my God, am I crazy? Yeah, bitch, you are. You are crazy. You're leaving a 6-figure job and you don't know what the fuck you're doing. You're crazy for sure. But intuition feels like that sometimes. Sometimes intuition is like the most craziest idea and it doesn't make sense on paper. It's not logical. This was neither of those things. Oh my God. But it worked because I did not know. So this was like probably like my biggest thought. I did not know what was next once I left my job. Once my final day was done and over, I did not know what was next. I literally, like, my last day fell on a Friday. I probably like slept and just chilled out, hit the gym, laid low, did some research on coffee shops and things about it. I did not know what was next, but I knew that whatever it was, I was going to figure it out. I literally was betting on myself. I had faith in myself, like radical, unshakable faith, to the point that I did not give a shit what somebody else had to say. I didn't care about the questions of others. I didn't care about their projections. I did not care. And that was a huge mindset shift, a huge mindset thing, and a huge energetic thing for me to have to continue on. Like, you literally, I felt like I was like putting my blinders on and being like, I don't know what's next, but I'm gonna figure it out. Stay the fuck out of my way. Like, you're not influencing me out of anything. You're not de-influencing me out of anything. Stay out of my way. I'm fully focused. I'm moving in the right direction. And I don't know what that looks like or what that means yet. If you ever thought that you were insane or, manic or whatever, that's probably what that feels like. Anywho, fast forward about a month, doing a lot more research, go to take a look at the location that I want. It's obviously available. There's another, I think like 2 other tenants that were like thinking about it, but nobody bit the bullet and put the deposit down. So what do? I'm like, oh, well, I'm not sitting on this. I'm just going to put the deposit down and make sure nobody else gets the spot that I want. And then once like the lease agreement and all like the contract is signed, is ready, I can go sign it. So that's what I did. So there's that. Clearly, if you want something, you better make a move or it could be gone. Then I was doing some more research. I was talking to people, reaching out to people who I consider kind of mentors. Like, they're very, very experienced and very knowledgeable in this field of owning a coffee shop and operating a coffee shop, had a lot of questions that they graciously answered, and I deeply appreciate that. And it really helps solidify, like, okay, I can figure this out. Everything is figure outable. That's actually a sign inside their coffee shops that I love too. It's everything is figure outable. Yes, it is. Okay, there's start looking into like what do I do with like the health department with opening a coffee shop? What do I do about the equipment that I need? How do I go about getting things like cups and lids and straws and supplies and recipes for cold brew and blah 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 blah. Like, I'm already been like a coffee fanatic my entire life, and I've always loved like going to coffee shops, checking out new coffee shop locations. I always loved making my own little recipes at home to the best of my ability, but definitely not a professional barista at all. So I spent a lot of time on TikTok and YouTube trying to teach myself like, okay, like how do we go about like frothing milk appropriately? How do we get a good pull out of espresso shots? It's so funny too, because I call this one of my retirement gifts was a Breville Bambino espresso machine so that I could learn like just like the manual things that go into making espresso and making a latte. I could drink lattes all day long. That's probably why I talk too damn much. But little things like that I had to learn and think about. And I thought, yeah, like the more action I took, the more I realized I'm figuring it out. I'm figuring it out. And I kept going with that, like training my brain that you can figure things out. Things are figure outable. Everything is figure outable. Keep going, keep learning, keep doing. It's fine. You're on the right track. But as you can see, it's literally like a mental game. When you decide that you want something in life, like me, I wanted to leave my nursing job and explore more of what I'm most passionate about, but I didn't know what that was or what that looked like at the time. You really have to like bet on yourself, trust yourself, overcome these thoughts and beliefs that tell you that you can't, and really like walk that path that feels right to you. I feel like most people, like everyone has intuition. It's not like a gift. It's like everybody has that, but like programming and society and religion and the educational system and jobs, and fluoride in the water, it kind of like keeps us disconnected from our intuition, so to speak. But our intuition is so strong. And if you feel like this, like pull to go one way versus the other, or if you feel like a really strong, like draw to something or about learning about something that you think you might enjoy, there might be a reason. Like it may be an intuitive pull. And that's kind of what this was. This was like, okay, like I know I'm over and done with this job and I don't know what's next, but this feels so right and it feels so aligned. And I really truly believe after listening to myself like that, after listening to my intuition, that yeah, it's like it's a pull and it feels magnetic and it feels good in your body. It doesn't feel like stress. It feels good. And I had like those negative, like slightly fear-based thoughts, and I rewired my brain over them. Like I talked myself out of them, chose differently, and kept going. And I noticed that it just felt right. Like I felt at peace with the decision that I made, even though others did not. But that's a story for a whole nother day. That's all reflections, baby. But anyway, let me know what questions or comments you have. I'd love to hear from you.